This is IGN. V for Vendetta will return to cinemas for its 20th anniversary. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Epic Games has celebrated the launch of Fortnite's new The Simpsons mini-season, which it says has welcomed, quote, the biggest number of new and returning Fortnite players since last holiday season. Public player data tracked by Fortnite.gg shows that a peak of 2.6 million players logged on both Saturday and Sunday. Firstly, to watch the live event that introduced the Simpsons aliens Kang and Kodos to Fortnite's Battle Royale island. And secondly, to then play on the game's new Springfield map when it came online. The live event saw Fortnite's heroes scooped up in a UFO and transported to Springfield Island, a mashup of Fortnite and The Simpsons filled with familiar locations and Easter eggs from the long-running animated series. Fan response to the new season and its highly detailed map has been positive, and Epic Games seems pleased with player numbers. Fortnite's player numbers have dipped somewhat this year amid tough competition from Roblox and a string of Battle Royale seasons that feel like they haven't landed with fans quite as expected. In September, during the game's alien bug season, the game's average daily numbers briefly sagged to around 500,000 players, though player counts then rallied as Fortnite began its annual Halloween celebrations. While 2.6 million players this past weekend is impressive, Fortnite has recorded several higher player spikes this year for other events. A peak of 5.7 million players logged in on June 7th for Death Star Sabotage, the game's live event that served as the finale of its Star Wars mini-season. Fortnite also saw a spike to 3.9 million players on August 2nd for its superhero season finale and 3.3 million players for the launch of its Daft Punk experience. And Oscar winners Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reportedly reuniting for The Mummy 4, with Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, the filmmaking duo billed as Radio Silence, directing the long-awaited sequel. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Fraser and Weisz are in talks to return to the franchise that made them box office stars before they both went on to win their respective Academy Awards, Fraser for The Whale and Weisz for The Constant Gardener. Weisz sat out the third installment of the franchise, The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, where her character, Egyptologist Evelyn O'Connell, was replaced by Maria Bello. That sequel also aged up Rick and Evie's son Alex, who was introduced as a kid in The Mummy Returns, to be a young man. Universal Pictures previously tried to reboot the Mummy franchise, with the 1999 film already a remake of the 1932 original in 2017 with the Tom Cruise-led The Mummy, which failed to breathe life into the studio's plans for Dark Universe, a shared universe that reimagined the classic Universal monsters. The studio also released the Dwayne Johnson spin-off vehicle The Scorpion King, which beget its own direct-to-video film series. Specialty event cinema distributor Fathom Entertainment, along with Saga Arts and Warner Brothers, confirmed that the 2006 film V for Vendetta will be heading back to the big screen in 2026, just in time for its 20th anniversary. The film will hit theaters across the U.S. on November 1st and 5th, 2026. From its early days as a graphic novel and then a feature film, few properties have struck a chord with fans and been more thought-provoking societally than V for Vendetta, said Fathom Entertainment Vice President of Studio Relations Tom Lucas in a statement published alongside the announcement. 20 years later, the movie still resonates, and Fathom is so pleased to bring it back to theaters next November with our partners at Warner Brothers and Saga Arts. Based on the late 80s graphic novel of the same name by writer Alan Moore and illustrators David Lloyd and Tony Ware, V for Vendetta is the story of a charismatic anarchist named V, who is seeking to trigger a revolution against the totalitarian government ruling a dystopian near-future Great Britain. The film stars Hugo Weaving as V, as well as Natalie Portman as Evie, a young woman who becomes embroiled in his mission. Produced by Joel Silver and the Wachowskis from a screenplay written by the Wachowskis, V for Vendetta was helmed by first-time director James McTeague and was a box office success that received largely favorable reviews. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcast through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.